Well, I'm going to do some Chicago news because Memorial Day weekend was a bloodbath. And if you watch my video over the election, I almost called it. I came close. I said 60, I think I said 60 shooting victims on Memorial Day weekend. It was like 53. But 4th of July weekend's always the worst in the city. So if it was 53 on Memorial Day, I'm going to shoot for a high number. I'm going to go 70 for 4th of July weekend. And then the new mayor Brandon Johnson does he does address this issue. So it goes on to say it's been a violent and deadly Memorial Day weekend in Chicago with at least 53 shot, 11 fatally. The shooting victims range from 2 to 77 years old. Again, if you live in Illinois, this is not a surprise. When it comes to like the 3-day weekends in the summer, shit gets pretty heavy downtown. And the thing that sucks the most right now, and why the violence is different in the city now, is because the violence in the city moved away from certain areas and is now in like the Gold Coast area and the nicer areas downtown. So the crime essentially moved from like the south side of the city all the way up through the north side of the city, which is usually like a pretty nice area. I know North Avenue, North Shore Beach, which is like it's a very like upper scale beach. It's got I believe it's North Avenue Beach, North Shore, North Avenue, whatever the name. It's my favorite beach in the city. Well, that even got closed down its opening day because there was a shooting on the beach. And it's so rare that shootings venture to the north part of the city, and now crime is all over the city. It kind of went from the south side on, and that's because of the lack of punishment for these people committing the crimes. Like ultimately in the city, you get arrested for a crime, you go to jail, well, they let you right back out on the street, right? It's like this revolving door, and all they do is they go back out and they start committing more crimes, right? So what's sad is that there was a 2-year-old shot. Anytime a kid gets shot, it's just absolutely devastating. Over the weekend, 35-year-old William Hare's family spoke on ABC7 about what happened with their loved one. So it says like, yeah, he was there with his best friend. They pulled up, didn't have a chance to do anything. His best friend, thank God, was with them. And I can't pronounce the word, tried to save his life and perform CPR, help him breathe. My son fought for his life, but he was gone. This is person who lost their son. Again, so sad. Mayor Brandon Johnson spent the weekend at various neighborhoods and gatherings amid keeping streets safe. They do this shit all the time. Like the community activists and the community leaders, like I agree, like they need to be there. But they give these speeches and then nothing ever gets done. And that's what's truly sad about the whole thing is they'll march through the streets, and trust me, in these neighborhoods, that's a very brave thing to do. But then, it doesn't deter anybody. And that's what's really sad about it. This is from Brandon Johnson. He gave us a statement during this march through the neighborhoods that poverty did not go away over the weekend. Like, we understand that when communities have been disinvested and traumatized, what you are seeing is the manifestation of that trauma. So he's associating like the violence to the trauma. And that's because stores, ultimately what happens, stores get robbed there, and it's just not worth them being there. So they move to different parts of the city, the safer parts of the city. And that's ultimately what's destroying these neighborhoods. And this is why, people from the south side are starting to venture to the north side, because all the stores, all the major stores, the stores people need for like food and accessories, they're closing up and moving out. And so now, the crime is venturing kind of more where the stores are moving to. So in a statement, Mayor Johnson added, the violence in our city experienced this weekend is intolerable. It produced pain and trauma that devastated communities across Chicago, and my heart breaks for everyone affected. That's why as mayor, I am committed to leveraging every single resource to our disposal to protect every single life in our city. This holiday weekend, thousands of police officers, first responders, city workers, business leaders, organizers, faith leaders, and violence interpreters, I don't even know what that is, tirelessly dedicated themselves to keeping Chicago safe. I offer my deep gratitude to all those involved. We have much more work to be done, but the work performed by these individuals this weekend is the foundation for how we will ultimately secure our city again. I can't ask police officers to do everything to solve all these problems. We can ask just one elected official to solve all these problems. It really does take communities to work together. This is according to the 19th Police District Council member, Sam Schoenberg. So again, not a surprise here. And like I said, it will come 4th of July weekend and the Taste of Chicago weekend. It's going to be, I'm going to say those numbers are going to jump up into the 70s. It might even be higher because like I said, crime is no longer kind of set, like it's not in one portion of the city anymore. It's kind of moved through the whole city. So it's nowhere are you really technically safe. That's why Chicago right now is just such a shithole. I can't believe they elected this guy. Like he is more extreme than Lori Lightfoot was. But benefit of the doubt, he just got into office. Again, 53 shot on a weekend, 3-day weekend. It's not a surprising story for us Illinoisans here. We hear these stories all the time from our local news. And I bet this weekend they'll probably get close to 50. I know it'll just be a normal weekend, but it's going to be nice out and hot, and people are going to be outside. And you know, so I'd say this weekend 30 plus shootings. Hopefully nobody dies, but you know, it's truly sad to see such a beautiful city like Chicago. If you've never been there, it's such an amazing city to be at. It's so full. It's got all this diverse culture and all these different things to do, and the outside music. And again, it's very like cultured, like all different cultures from all around the world essentially are in the city. So there's so many different experiences you can have. And it's just so sad to see the city. I mean, the last couple of years, it's so sad to see what happened downtown and how it got just worse and so out of control. And I'm really hoping they realize that they need to hire more police officers. Everything this guy said in terms of dispatching people, the only thing that matters in the city is police officers and keeping the criminals in jail. And that's ultimately what the problem is. That's why we have such a carjacking problem, because it's like you arrest these people, you throw them in jail, and then, you know, once you do the paperwork, you let them right back out on the streets, and they never show up for court, and, you know, they just go out and commit the same crimes that they did to initially get arrested. And that's truly what the downfall is. We need to keep the criminals in the prison system. We can't let them back out on the streets because they're just committing more crimes, and ultimately more people are getting injured and killed because of it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Is the city of Chicago ever going to be fixed, or do you think it's only going to get worse? I will be back with some more videos. I'm out. Peace.